A former BBC DJ has been sentenced to over 5 years in prison after being found guilty of stalking broadcasters, including TV presenter Jeremy Vine, in a relentless hate campaign. Alex Belfield, 42, was handed 5 years and 26 weeks in jail at Nottingham Crown Court on Friday, after being labelled the Jimmy Savile of trolling during the trial in August. Belfield was found guilty by the jury for causing serious alarm or distress to 2 victims and simple stalking in relation to Channel 5 and BBC Radio 2 presenter Jeremy and theatre blogger Philip Dehaney. The former BBC DJ was handed a 13-week sentence for stalking Jeremy alongside a consecutive 13 weeks for stalking blogger Dehaney. Furthermore, Alex was handed 2.5 years for the charge concerning BBC Radio Northampton presenter Bernie Keith and a consecutive 2.5-year sentence over the stalking charge relating to videographer Ben Hewis, Nottingham Live reports. Belfield will serve half on all 4 charges he was convicted of, with all 4 of his victims being granted restraining orders by the judge. The judge also made indefinite restraining orders in relation to complainants, including 2 former BBC managers, concerning the 4 charges he was found not guilty on. During the trial, the court heard Belfield repeatedly posted or sent abusive messages, videos and emails. BBC Radio Northampton presenter Bernie was left feeling suicidal by a tsunami of hate, jurors heard. Jeremy also gave evidence against Belfield, as he said, "This is not a regular troll here. This is the Jimmy Savile of trolling." Describing watching Belfield's video output as like swimming in sewage, the broadcaster said of the defendant's conduct, "It felt like I had a fishhook in my face and my flesh was being torn, and the only way to avoid further pain was to stay completely still." The court was told the 42-year-old started out as a broadcast assistant on local radio and in recent years set up a YouTube channel known as Celebrity Radio. He told the court he was the victim of a social media pile-on and a witch hunt by other broadcasters, after exercising his rights to freedom of speech in communications with the complainants. Prosecutor John McGuinness QC said Jeremy was subjected to a constant bombardment of harassing tweets and YouTube videos in 2020. The presenter, the court heard, faced a wave of abuse online after false and entirely baseless claims were made relating to the supposed theft of £1,000. Belfield is said to have developed a dislike, almost hatred of Mr. Vine after the BBC donated the sum to a memorial fund set up to honour a friend of the broadcaster. Another one of his victims included a videographer who was stalked online after tweeting his disgust at one of Belfield's YouTube videos. At the start of the trial, prosecutors said Belfield wasn't prepared to move on after leaving the BBC and became disgruntled by what he perceived to be unfair treatment from his managers. He was found not guilty of stalking charges in relation to the BBC's former head of North Rosina Breen, former BBC Radio Leeds presenters Liz Green and Stephanie Hurst, and BBC worker Helen Thomas.